Hey, aloha and mahalo, which means thank you here in Kauai, for all the comments about the selfie that I shot, the video I shot myself while I was driving around in the convertible. And in that video, I talked about things I must earn. And of course, a lot of you said, you shouldn't be shooting selfies while you're driving. And you're probably right about that. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, so those comments were great, but what I really love, and that's really what this blog is for, ask us questions, challenge us about things, ask us to explain things in more detail. That's what this is for. It's so that you can make some money by learning the right things, doing the right things the right way, and doing the right things better, and then doing the right things faster. So what it was about, we talked about time, and I put a link if you didn't see that. You know, time stands for things I must earn, and I'm not a big acronym fan. But I mentioned in the video that it's pretty easy to figure out how to make good choices with your time. And a lot of you questioned me about that. And so I want to take a minute to go over that. I heard recently a bunch of people flew down to, I don't know, Mexico or Baja or Bermuda or something. 10, 15 grand they paid to learn how to build a business plan. What are people thinking? Anyway, so I'm going to show you what works 100% of the time. You don't have to pay any money to build a business plan, and if you do this, you'll be successful. And if you do this with people on your team, they'll be successful, and it'll just proliferate in your organization because it makes so much sense. And it's called OATS, okay? To make it really simple, if someone's working a 10-hour work week, what you want to do is help them set a schedule around OATS. What does the O stand for? What are their objectives? Okay, what are their objectives? Honey, can you grab me that book over there? What are their objectives? The fabulous Davine, my wife, makes me look good. And it's really important in the objectives that you don't set things out like, I want to hit pin levels. Most valuable book you can read ever written for network marketers, got nothing to do with network marketing. It's called The Influencer, and that's what you want to do, is influence yourself and your teammates. And what great influencers do is they focus on behaviors, okay? Behaviors, not on results. People that focus on results are terrible influencers, and we see it with network marketing companies all the time. We see it with leaders all the time. Got to get more volume, got to sponsor 5 people, got to sponsor 7 people, you know, got to get to double dipper, diamond pooper duper scooper, whatever. Those are all result driven. We never, once we discovered this, we never talked to our team about results. We talked to them about behaviors. So a behavior would be showing the plan 3 times. I want to show the plan 3 or more times. That's a behavior, that's not a result. Because if they show the plan 3 times, you're going to get either 1, 2, or 3 people, and particularly if you learn the skills at the world's laziest networker. So you want to help them set their objectives, but pick objectives that are behavior driven. You do the right behaviors right, you do the right behaviors better, you do the right behaviors faster. And if you do it hands-on with your team, they pick it up. So O is objectives. Okay, and then A is actions. What actions would you need to take to show the plan 3 times or 2 times or 5 times or whatever? Well, what actions you have to take, behavior that you'd have to engage in, is obviously dialing the phone. Now I know that 16% of the time, according to AT&T, and over 10,000 calls I track myself, you're going to talk to the person you're trying to reach. If you know the skills at the world's laziest networker, obviously you know that 80% of them are going to instantly agree in less than 12 seconds. You can go grab those skills anytime you want, which, by the way, that's a behavior, right? So that might, to talk to 3 people, you'd have to dial the phone. You'd have to, let's say, make 200 dials in a week, or 100 dials. You just figure this out. You're going to talk to the person you're trying to reach 16% of the time. So if you made 100 dials, which would take about 15 dials an hour, if you made 100 dials, you'd talk to 16 people. And if you were terrible at this, you'd get 3 or 4 quality prospects to the table. So how much time is that going to take? That's what you want to figure out, is the time. And this is, I'm going to asterisk this one a little bit. So to make 100 dials, you make 15 dials an hour, but stuff happens in life. So you figure that's 6 hours is 90. So I'm going to add 20% for Murphy's Law because things go wrong. So instead of 6 hours, I'm going to say 7.5 hours. And then you schedule it. Okay? Now, I want you to notice something. Out of the 10 hours in a week, right, 8 of them are based on what? The main thing. The main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. Okay, in this book, The Influencer, what they discovered about great influencers is they identify 1 or 2 critical behaviors, not 10 or 15 things. So I'm going to take this 7.5 to 8 hours for Harry, who's working the business, and here's his, or you, right? Here's his Monday, Tuesday, we'll say Sunday's over here, Wednesday. Okay, so there's your 7 days. And so I'm gonna block out an hour here. I'm gonna block out 2 hours here. I'm gonna block out 2 hours here. I'm gonna block out an hour here. I'm gonna block 2 hours here. That's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. There's my 8 hours, okay? So I've spent 80% of the time, 80% of the time goes on the main thing. That is the critical behavior in network marketing. The main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. That is a behavior. Talking to people about the business that aren't in the business, that's the action you want to take. That will lead to this behavior of showing the plan. If it isn't written, it isn't true. So you make sure that you want to schedule that. Now this is really, really important. What's missing from here? What is not on here? What don't you see on here? This is going to make you a lot of money if you can figure it out. I'll give you 10 seconds. Do 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 do. Remember Jeopardy?
Everybody
remembers. Okay. All right. So anyway, so basically, I got a brand new sort of high-tech eraser here. So I'm gonna actually erase this. Okay. What's not on there is conference calls. Okay. I'm going to show you the behavior that I got my people to engage in was to stay off conference calls. Yeah, I can hear you leaders. No, what do you mean stay off conference calls? Well, people get on conference calls 4 or 5 hours a week. That has got nothing to do with the objective, the actions, the time. It eats up their time, and that time eats into what? The actions that they need to take so that they can hit the objective, okay? So conference calls, you notice I don't have them scheduled on here. An hour or 2 for personal development. And this is the behavior that I want to tell you about. When I bring someone in the business, when we bring someone in the business, myself and my beautiful wife, the fabulous Davine, I would tell them, they pick the amount of hours they're putting in the business. So I'd get them, say, to commit to 10 or 8 or whatever. They pick that, the time, right? How many hours they're going to put in. I pick the do. I pick the do. And what I'm going to do, number 1 goal I have for them, and I'm going to tell them, is I want you to get your investment back. I want to get that back for you in 30 days. 2, cover auto ship for next month. Okay, and number 3, $100 for wifey. Now we're going to come back to OATS or husbandy. Thank you, dear. Husbandy. Okay, and I'm going to come back to this in a minute. Back to OATS in a minute, because I'm going to give you the coup de grace in OATS and the thing that'll make you wealthy in all areas of your life. I tell people, listen, this is what I want to do. Get your money out of the business, get your auto ship covered for next month so this business never costs you a dime, and I want to get $100 because whoever you partner is, a husband or a wife, they had to sacrifice time that they normally spent with you, right? And you want to reward them for that. Now, this means none of this stuff with 80 different people telling them 80 different ways to do it. And, oh, Harry said to do it this way. And Joanne said you can put your link all over Facebook. Bang, zoom. Okay, I want them to stay away from all those clowns. If they ask me about conference calls, they see them on the company website, I say, I own what you do during those 10 hours. You want to get on your other time, that's fine. This is what I'm going to do for you. And you're going to be strong with these people. Okay, so let's go back to OATS, because I broke it down for you. Have OATS. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this with my new reps every Friday, but I'm going to say before I set up time to hit those actions with you, the number 1 thing you have to do is schedule a date with your kids and spouse. I would not give anybody any time until they set up time with their husband, wife, and with their family. See, when they join network marketing, they're short on money, they're short on time, in most cases both. The first two things we ask them for, time and money. That increases stress, and it can throw this delicate balance, which is already wobbly in the first place, out. You let them know that you care about their family and you care about their creator. Say, listen, you schedule time with your creator first, your family second, individual dates with them. They don't have to go to Ruth Chris's or anything else, although you can take me to Ruth Chris's anytime you want. But fundamentally, take a walk with them, watch a movie, and when you're doing something with them, don't talk about the business. So when they call me to set up their schedule for the next week, I would say, make a date with your wife, make a date in your spiritual life. Yeah, I did. Great. No, not yet, but I will as soon as she gets home. Great. As soon as she gets home or as soon as he gets home and you schedule that date, call me back. I don't go to work for people that don't take care of their family first. Once that proliferates in your organization, people start to understand who you are, that you care about their life, not your paycheck. They'll start to follow this. They'll stay off the conference calls and they'll talk to prospects. Main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. This is the main thing. Right here, these two things, then the business. After that, let them do whatever they want to do. Peace be the journey. Thanks for the question. Keep them coming. Leave me a comment. Does your sponsor do that for you? Do you do that for people in your organization? How do you feel about it? Okay, I want to know. What else can we help you with? Peace out.